Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. In today's video we'll be covering the remaining part for chapter number 1 for revision, as only chapter 1 and 2 will be covered in the half yearly syllabus. So we'll be focusing only on these two chapters. So today's video will be the last part for the chapter number 1 revision. So let us have a discussion of the remaining topics. The topic that here we are going to learn is about the life of Lavoisier. He is the father of modern chemistry. Let us see about his life. Lavoisier was born in Paris in France in 1743. He studied in the University of Paris and graduated when he was 20 years old. And he was interested in many different subjects, as it is written. All these subjects he had very special interest, especially in these science subjects. Then he got a job in the tax collecting company. He worked as a normal job, but then he also got a special work there. This is the photograph given. So he got the work. What was the work that he was doing? He was collecting the taxes on various kinds of goods that were transported. So he was just a tax collector only. But then he had scientific interest. He was interested in science research. So when he was free from his job of collecting the tax, he used to do his work. He used to do his research work. And during his research work, what he was focusing more upon was his fundamental contribution, means his major contribution came during his research time was in the field of chemistry. And ultimately, he was so much inclined to the research that he gave up his job and totally involved himself in the scientific research. So now, as we have already discussed, Lavoisier is the father of modern chemistry. Why is it called so? That is because of his various kind of research works. Especially earlier topics we have seen that alchemists believed in the Greek theory of elements, that everything is made up of 4 elements. But Lavoisier changed this concept. What Lavoisier told to the world, that everything is made up of small elements. Every surrounding, whatever things we are surrounded with, they are made of small elements. So he rejected the Greek element theory and gave the modern concept of chemistry. What he said, like here we have an example that is given here. Hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water. Earlier water was considered as an element, but Lavoisier said that water is not an element, it is a compound. It is made up of 2 other smaller elements. What are those elements? They are hydrogen and oxygen. Both of them combine together to form water. So this is what Lavoisier said. He rejected the Greek theory of elements and changed the concepts of chemistry. So here he proved with his experiment the same thing, that 1 part of hydrogen react with 8 part of oxygen, and what is obtained? We get 9 part of water. That means 1 gram hydrogen, 8 gram oxygen. They will both join together, and what we will get? We will get 9 grams of water, that is H2O. So this is what Lavoisier said, that water is not an element, it is made up of small substances. So by this, what he has proved, that he proved that water is not an element as alchemists believe. So that time alchemists, the people who believed in alchemy, they revolted, they were very much against him. But by his experiment he proved this thing, and alchemy concepts were proven wrong, and Lavoisier is therefore regarded as the father of modern chemistry. So here it is mentioned, you can remember, make a mark in your book here. Lavoisier, the father of modern chemistry. Other important things what he has done, he identified hydrogen and oxygen gas. He was the first person to identify these gas, but who discovered them later on? This experimentally who prepared them. Hydrogen was prepared by Robert Boyle. This name you have to learn. Second thing, oxygen was prepared by Priestley. These were the people who prepared them in laboratory. Next line now. So other than this Lavoisier proved that any substance, when it is burning, it will take place only in the presence of oxygen. Otherwise nothing can burn. So Lavoisier was a person who proved that burning requires oxygen. Otherwise no burning will take place if oxygen is not available. Next point here that is mentioned is He also suggested the metric system. Metric system of weights and measures was suggested by him. What is this metric system? Different units are there: liter, milliliter, and so on, or we can say meter, centimeter, and so on, gram, kilograms, and so on. All these systems are called metric system. The metric system was given by Lavoisier only. Next, he suggested also that sulfur is a small element. It is not a compound. Just like water is a compound, it is not an element. Similarly, he proved that sulfur is a small element. Earlier, people believed that sulfur is a compound, but it is not so. Next line is given. He just suggested that there may be an element which is called as silicon. Today we know about silicon. Silicon is used in the computers and the mobile phones. Silicon chips are made and they are put there. But this silicon was not known earlier. But Lavoisier was the first person to predict that there may be an element called as silicon in the future. He gave the naming system of elements and compound, how to give the names to different elements and compound. So he suggested a better system to give these names. Also, he said a particular substance, that is matter, it may change its shape or its form, but never matter will not change its mass. Mass of the matter will always remain same. You learn in higher class, that is called as the law of conservation of mass. It was given by Lavoisier only. So there are different kinds of contributions to the science by Lavoisier. So not only regarding water as an element or compound, he gave many other contributions also, and due to this only he was very much in trouble by other people, because the alchemists did not like him. They were all against him, and as a result only, on false grounds, he was tried and guillotined, beheaded at the age of 50. Means he was punished and his head was cut off. Only on false ground, means he was falsely accused of some charges and then he was punished. So that is how he died on 8th May 1794 in Paris. So that is about Lavoisier. Next one we have is John Dalton. This is John Dalton's photograph. Now John Dalton, he was born on 6 September 1766. He gave the famous atomic theory. We will read about it in this topic only. So he was born in England, and in the same place only, in a rural, in a village area, he got his education, and then he went up for a teaching job in a school. At a young age, he went up for a teaching job in a school. Then later he became a teacher in the College of Manchester, and then he continued his studies also alongside. He studied different subjects, not only science, he studied literature, mathematics, meteorology, chemistry. Different kinds of subjects he studied. And then ultimately, after a certain period of time, in 1800, he joined what? He joined the Literary and Philosophical Society of Manchester. He became the secretary in the society, and later on, from society he was promoted to the post of president of the society. So that is where he worked only. That is nothing more important. Later on, he became a fellow. Fellow means member of the Royal Society. That is a group of various kind of intellectuals, means people who are experts in their subjects. So that is a Royal Society in England. So he became a member of that society. Later on, now let us read about his experiments, about his contributions to the science. So he was very much interested in meteorology. It is the study of the weather patterns, and so he suggested and maintained the weather record, that is temperature, humidity, etc. weather record of an area for many years. And also he gave his contribution in this way, like here. Earlier there were no aeroplanes, no weather balloons were there. So what he did, he climbed the hills. And made his observations of the atmosphere, of the different types of temperature ranges, different type of humidity levels at different heights. Because aeroplanes were not there, the weather balloons were not there, people cannot go to different heights to observe these temperature changes. For observing this only, he went on the hills. He climbed the hills and tried to study about the weather patterns. So that is about his interest in weather pattern. Now let us come to the most famous and relevant aspect of his theory is atomic theory. What he gave was atomic theory, and atomic theory, what he said everything is made up of small elements, that is called as atoms. All the elements are made of atoms. These atoms are not are all same. Alike means all of them are same, and some of the type of the elements, when the element will change, the atom will also change. A particular element, atoms are all same. Different elements, atoms are all different. Next, atoms can neither be created nor they can be destroyed. We cannot create, we cannot destroy atoms in any of the form. We can only change their form. And when different atoms will combine together, we will get a compound. Different atoms join together to make a single compound. Last one, here we have another law that he gave, that is law of multiple proportion. We don't have to study, just the name we have to remember. Law of multiple proportion was given by John Dalton only. So that is an important rule. Other than this, he also gave another law regarding the gases, that is called as Dalton's law of partial pressure. Law of partial pressure was also given by John Dalton. So these different laws are there. These law you will study in higher classes. For now, only name you can remember. He published various research books also. That is, one name is given, New System of Chemical Philosophy. This is one of the research paper or a book which includes his research. So the name only we can underline. So what he did throughout his life we have seen, and later on he suffered from 3 different strokes between different years, and ultimately he died in 1844 on 27th July. So that is all about John Dalton. His most important point what you have to learn is atomic theory. It's different point you have to learn. Last one now is Dmitri Mendeleev. So his full name as it is given, Dmitri Ivanovich Mendeleev. He was a Russian scientist. He was born in a village in Siberia in Russia in the year 1834 on 8th February. Then he went to a local school in the village only, he studied, and later got his admission in St. Petersburg University and graduated at the age of 20. This is Dmitri Mendeleev. Let us read about his life and his contributions to the science. So later on, he became a research person and scientist. His famous subject, his favorites were chemistry, physics, and geology. He gave contributions in all of these fields. Geology is the study of earth crust. So in physics as well as in geology he gave his various contributions. But in chemistry, why he is famous? For the classification of elements. He classified different elements in a particular table called as the periodic table. So the periodic table was made by, or it was introduced by Dmitri Mendeleev. So earlier time we were having 56 elements. We knew 56 elements. All were not discovered. Some elements were not discovered. Only 56 elements were known, and there was no periodic table by that time. The first periodic table was introduced by Mendeleev only. These 56 elements were classified in a tabular form. So first periodic table, successful one, is given by Mendeleev. Here is it given in the book, you can mark there. Which year it was? It was done in 1869. Mendeleev gave his periodic law, and on its basis he classified the different elements and presented the table called the periodic table of elements. So later on he changed this table, small change he made in the year 1871. What he did in the periodic table, he arranged the elements in a column. One column he called as groups. All the similar elements, similar means which are same from each other to each other, they were placed in a group. Top to bottom is called a group. So in a column he placed all the similar elements. What about the dissimilar elements? He kept apart in different groups. All which elements are different from each other, they will remain in different groups. They cannot come together in the same column or same group. So his periodic was very much successful. He even left some small gaps. He classified elements in 18 periods, and also he suggested that there may be some new elements. He predicted 3 elements, and today they are actually present: scandium, gallium, and germanium. These 3 elements he predicted that these elements may be obtained in the future. So that is Mendelev's contribution in the field of chemistry. And what about geology? He was very much interested in the study of earth. So therefore he gave a very famous concept of the origin. He was very much successful in the field of petroleum also. He helped to establish the first oil refinery of Russia. How we can obtain petroleum from the earth crust. So he gave his contributions there also. We will not go in details because we don't have to focus on other subjects. Only roughly we will know about this. Other than this, many other suggestions in the field of physics also he did. He introduced the metric system in Russia. The same metric system was introduced by Lavoisier. In Russia it was done by Mendeleev. And then he was the founder of Russian Chemical Society, a group of various scientists. Together they were discussing all the topics in that particular society. So it was in Russia. It was founded by Mendeleev only, and he was awarded the Davy Prize or the Davy Medal, and later on he was made the member of the Royal Society, the same Royal Society that is in England. John Dalton was also a member of the same Royal Society. So as here in the last page you can see, this is the modern periodic table. In this table all the elements are arranged in a periodic manner. So that is all for this chapter. We'll end the video now. In the next video we'll start the discussion from chapter number 2 onwards. Thank you.